So yesterday, the Lakers finished their final preseason game of the season, and now we look to Tuesday where we play the Denver Nuggets. I cannot wait. First game of the season. It's going to be Denver's ring ceremony. It's time to go in there and smack them and just spoil that. Denver's head coach, Mike Malone, has talked a lot of talk, and it's time to put him in his place. But we concluded the preseason, and we have some goods. We have some bads, obviously. Preseason isn't so much about wins and losses. I know some people want the Lakers to win every preseason game. It's not what it's about. I mean, every preseason game, if you actually watch them, Darvin Ham played the G League team the entirety of the fourth quarter and pretty much all the games, like half of the third, right? So it was just about like, what does the team look like in that window, basically 2.5 quarters with the starters and the rotation guys, right? That's where we can look at and go, okay, what are the goods? What are the bads? And there were plenty of goods for the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers were in every one of those games, winning all of those games. Even the Phoenix game, I know a lot of people were disappointed in the Phoenix game. The Lakers had probably, if not their worst preseason game, and they were still winning at halftime with all the starters, even as poorly as the Lakers played. And look, I understand that Bradley Beal and Devin Booker did not play that game, but it's still a good sign. Right? Basically, we had 4 guys show up, and we still were winning at halftime. We still had a really solid commanding lead. We started the game great, and that's the positive. But one of the trends that was very apparent over the course of this preseason that the Lakers definitely need to improve on and use that as here's a big major hole that we got to fill, is the rebounding game, right? The Lakers were not great rebounding the basketball. I mean, they weren't terrible, but they weren't rebounding the basketball very well compared to some of these teams. The Lakers have a ton of size, right? And so you would think that they would have those advantages. And even a team like Phoenix, who we are much bigger in, dominated us on the boards. Lots of second chance points. So we'll use the Phoenix game as an example, right? So in the Phoenix game, Phoenix out-rebounded us 50-36 and got 15 second chance points to our 6. It's not a good way to win basketball games, right? You're not winning a lot of basketball games if you're getting doubled nearly in rebounds and second chance points, right? Second chance rebounds. It's not good, right? So the Lakers really have to clean that up. Lakers really have to do a better job of rebounding the basketball. Now, I want to start before we really dive in here of like how much of it was just the rigmarole of preseason, right? There were a lot of times you saw over the course of preseason where there'd be a loose ball and the Lakers would kind of just let them go grab it and then get back in on defense, or they'd fight for a moment and then just, all right, let's let them have it, get back on defense, right? And not really being aggressive and being physical and trying to chase down those balls and sacrifice their body and do the things that they needed to in order to secure those rebounds the way that we would have liked them to. It's preseason. You're just trying to get out of those games as healthy as possible. You're not trying to overextend yourself. You're not trying to chase down and be physical like you would be in a regular season where the games actually count and the games actually matter, and especially the postseason, right? But a big issue the Lakers have had the last few years is rebounding the basketball, boxing out properly, and making sure that we secure, right? There was several occasions in just the Phoenix game alone, not even counting all the other games, where we played beautiful defense, got the stop, and then ended up giving the offense a rebound or just not chasing down the rebound, which is not good because a defensive possession doesn't end until you've secured that rebound. And if we, yes, I will defend it to an extent on preseason, but you also want to, in preseason, develop good habits, right? The last thing you want to do as a team is develop bad habits that could translate into the regular season, right? You saw And another reason why I think and lean towards it being preseason is because it wasn't just the Lakers. Like lots of teams, if you actually watched many of the preseason games or even just casually watched them here and there, you saw most teams doing it. Like even Golden State, even Phoenix on several occasions, just let them get the ball, or at least their starters, key rotation guys, just not getting hurt. Right? Like usually when you saw the aggressiveness, it was usually the guy trying to make the team that's trying to make the extra play, or it's like the G League guys or whatever, right? Like even the Lakers, when you saw the G League guys going in, they were trying to chase down balls. They were diving for balls. They were doing the things that you want to see because again, they're just trying to hopefully maybe earn a rotation spot. They're hoping to earn a roster spot at some point. It's different than the guys that are already on the roster that are aware. Right? Even defensive stances, right? You see the Lakers lock down beautifully one possession defensively, and then the next possession just kind of lax and just kind of let them run their offense. Phoenix did the same thing. Golden State did the same thing. Sacramento did the same thing. Like all of them did that, right? Because again, it's preseason. So I do attribute some of it to preseason, but there is that part of me, and I'm sure many of you as well, that's like, we have developed this bad habit over the last few years of us not securing rebounds and not boxing out properly and giving up a lot of second chance points. And that's a good way to punish us when you're talking about the game of basketball, right? Like, so there is that sense of like, okay, like, is this the Lakers? Is this a real thing? And we'll find out rather quickly. Of course, there's always going to be those games where it's just an off night and a team is being more aggressive, or, the ball just kind of bounces a certain way or whatever, right? There's always those case scenarios. You see it all the time, right? Even the best rebounding teams in the league get out rebound mightily on any given night. It happens. You're going to have off nights where a team the ball just seems to always be where their player is, right? But it's a repeated pattern. It's the consistency, game in and game out, right? And what I don't want to see and what I fear to an extent is that we'll start to see that trend of the Lakers not finishing the possession all the way through and give up second chance points. Second chance points are going to happen in every game. You're never going to get 100% of the rebounds. You're just not. Right? Again, a ball just bounces the right way, or, it gets deflected, or it just hits the rim a weird, awkward way, or whatever, right? So I understand that there's going to be moments in every game where a team is going to get offensive boards, right? But we need to make sure that we're utilizing our size and actually boxing out. It's great that we can get stops. It's great that we can defend at a high level. We've seen the Lakers do it on numerous occasions in preseason. But the defense doesn't end once the shot goes up. The defense ends once we've secured that basketball and we're heading in the other direction with said basketball. So I need to see the Lakers do a better job throughout the course of the season, especially a team like Denver, who Denver will absolutely punish us if we're not doing what we need to do in order to secure that rebound. Denver is big, they got size, right? And if we give them too many second chance points, it's going to be a very long night for the Lakers on opening night. If we do what we're supposed to do when we play defense and we finish with a defensive rebound, then the Lakers are probably going to win and beat Denver, right? I mean, we saw it last year even. I mean, even Golden State was killing us on the boards. Kevon Looney was just gobbling up offensive rebounds, right? We got to do a better job, and it can't be solely on just Anthony Davis, right? Like Anthony Davis led the league last year in defense and rebounds, right? Like, and Anthony Davis very likely could lead the league in rebounds again. He is an excellent rebounder, but it can't just be solely on, okay, well, we're just going to stand around and watch the basketball while Anthony Davis goes and chases down every rebound, because we're not going to get a lot of rebounds. we're going to struggle rebounding the basketball. Christian Wood is capable of getting rebounds, but he shouldn't be the only person going and chasing down rebounds. Same thing with Jackson Hayes. Same thing with anybody, right? Whoever's manning the middle should not be the only guy trying to acquire rebounds. It should be a team effort. We have, especially when we have a unit of like nothing but 6'8" guys on the court, right? Like we were running big units out there and getting out rebound by much smaller lineups. Even in the Golden State game, right? There was several possessions where we were double the size of them, and they were just out hustling us and chasing down rebounds, right? We got to make sure we're doing our part on both sides of the basketball and both sides of the rim, fighting and getting those second chance points, right? The last Warriors game, who we are very much bigger than, out rebounded us. 43-41, 10 offensive rebounds to 9. Again, if it happens on the occasional night here and there, that's fine. It happens, right? That is part of the game. You're going to have bad nights. You're going to have good nights. But when it starts to become a pattern and it starts to be something we see regularly, that's not good, right? So, for example, even the first Warriors game, again, same issue. They out-rebounded us 60-46, right? 10 offensive rebounds to 10 offensive rebounds. That is not good. That is not how this should go. We should be dominating the boards. Even Brooklyn, we out-rebounded them, but slightly. 48 and 8 offensive boards to 44 and 7 offensive boards, right? Sacramento. You look at Sacramento, and it was a very similar story. 45 rebounds to 47 rebounds, the Lakers. Lakers had 47. They out-rebounded. But they gave up 11 offensive rebounds to us 4. See? You're starting to see the pattern. Starting to see the issue. The Milwaukee Bucks game. Right? That's the last game I haven't mentioned. Milwaukee dominated us on the boards. 54-47. Out-rebounded us 15-11 on offensive boards. We can't develop this habit. We got to make sure we're doing our part and getting rebounds, because it's just going to make games a lot more tougher. I'm not saying we still can't win the games, because we did win many of those games without the rebounds. But we got to do a better job of chasing down boards. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think that this is a problem? Is this concerning to you? Do you think, no, it's just, it's part of the preseason. You're not trying to hurt yourself. They'll do a better job in the regular season. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments.